Hello, it's Grandpa John's story time again. Today is episode number 11 of Ragweed by Avi. Today we're reading chapter 11, Windshield and Fog Light. Safely beyond the ruins of the Cheese Squeeze Club, Ragweed halted. "Are you all right?" he asked Clutch. Clutch shook her head clear, then looked back toward the club. "Oh, Mouse, why do those cats hate us so much?" she cried. Tears ran down her cheeks. "Like, what did we ever do to them? Know what I'm saying? They're so big and powerful, and what can we do like Zippo?" Ragweed did not know what to say. Taking a deep breath, Clutch wiped away tears. "Hey, dude, you were something else. You saved my life. I mean, you were totally awesome." "You saved mine before," Ragweed said. "So we're even. Except I don't think we should stand here talking. We need to find a safer place. You sure you're okay?" "Hey, I'm cool," Clutch said, but suddenly she turned to look again at what had been the club. "Hey, like what about Dipstick and Lugnut? Have you seen them?" "I'm afraid not." Clutch swallowed hard. "What about my guitar?" she asked. "You smashed it on Silverside's nose." "Oh, yeah, right. And my deck?" "In Silverside's mouth." Clutch put her paws over her eyes. "Total yard sale," she said. "Biffed." Ragweed touched Clutch's shoulder gently. Dude," he said tentatively. "You did the best you could." "Yeah, like maybe," Clutch replied. Suddenly she grinned. "Hey, was that some kind of awesome music or what? Right on the cat's nose leather." Just as quickly she became grim again. "Do you think my buds got, like, planted deep?" "I don't know." "Oh, Mouse, the Cheese Squeaks Club was one cool place. Know what I'm saying? Maybe I should go back and check on my buds." "Clutch," Ragweed urged. "Like, don't you think we'd be safer somewhere else?" "Safe? Yeah, right. We better haul. Follow me." As the two mice scurried along the sidewalk, Ragweed noticed they were not going back the way they had come. "Aren't we going the wrong way?" "Not really. Like, it might not be safe to go back to my pad right now. Can't tell. Maybe Silversides knows where it's at. That's where she chased you. I mean, I live around here, dude. You have to be street savvy." "Street savvy?" "Like, keep your mind to the bind and your feet to the beat. Know what I'm saying?" "I think so. Where are we going?" "To my old mouse's place. They'll let us hang till this blows over. It's not far." After a 2-block run, Clutch darted into an alleyway and squirmed under a metal wall whose lower edge was old rubber. On the other side of the wall stood a very long and, to Ragweed's eyes, immense metal box with a long row of dirty windows. The box was perched on flat tires and painted yellow, though the paint was peeling badly. On one side of the box was written Amperville School District. "What is that?" Ragweed said. "Old school bus, dude. Where my parents hang out. It's where they hang their tails." Ragweed, who had no idea what a school bus was, decided it was not the moment to ask more questions. Instead, he followed Clutch up into the bus itself. At the top of the ramp, Clutch paused. "My folks are, way cool, Mouse. Just be yourself. You'll do fine." Inside the bus, the walls were covered with pictures painted on bits of paper with chewed edges. "Oh my," Ragweed murmured. "Like, my old mouse is an artist," Clutch said with pride. "Know what I'm saying?" She stopped so Ragweed could admire the work. At first, Ragweed thought it was the dimness of the bus that made it difficult to see the pictures clearly. Then he realized it was not the light, but the art that was obscure. The pictures consisted mostly of swirls of color and curious shapes. He could not begin to tell what they represented, if anything. "The old mouse, his name's Windshield, but we call him Windy, is really into cheese," Clutch explained. "That's what he paints." "He paints cheese?" Ragweed asked, bewildered. Hey, dude, not the cheese itself. Like, he does portraits of cheese. Know what I'm saying? See, here's his famous yellow cheese descending a staircase. This one is from his blue cheese period. Over there is American cheese. that blank picture isn't really blank. It's a hole from some Swiss cheese. I mean, awesome, amazing. It takes like one wicked mind to think of nothing, don't you think? I bet you could never guess how Windy does it. No, I don't think I could, Ragweed admitted. Uses his tail like he may be my old mouse, Clutch said with pride. But the guy's an awesome genius. Does your mother paint too? Ragweed asked. Foglight? Clutch said. Nah, she's a poet. She's writing a mouse epic, calls it Cheese of Grass. Going to be awesome sweet. Word wipeout time. Been working on it for weeks. Should be done any sec now. But hey, dude, let me introduce you to them. They passed down the center of the bus between rows of broken seats. Pictures hung everywhere. Some, Ragweed saw at a glance, were cheese paintings and presumably had been painted by Clutch's father. But there were other paintings, portraits of mice, landscapes, visions of human nests, streets. There were also twisted objects of all kinds. Ragweed was reminded of the pile of junk in which he had hidden by the railway. My folks have lots of artist friends, Clutch whispered by way of explanation. They can't sell what they make, so they swap stuff. Hey, Windy, Foggy, what's up? Clutch called. At the front of the old bus were two mice. The larger one, Ragweed guessed it was Clutch's father, the one called Windshield, was quite portly. His scruffy fur was gray-brown like his daughter's, but so dabbled with color he looked like a spotted creature. All around him was an array of bottle caps, each filled with paint of a different color. The tip of his tail, he was in the middle of painting a picture, was quite green. Ragweed noted it was the same color as the top of Clutch's head. The other mouse, who was small and wiry, was bending intently over the work she was composing on paper, chewing a writing stick. Though Clutch called a greeting, she seemed not to have heard. Not so with Clutch's father. He looked around. Clutch! He rumbled in as low a voice as Ragweed had ever heard. What a magnificent surprise! He bounded forward and gave his daughter an enthusiastic nuzzle, which she returned with equal fervor. Hey, Windy, Clutch said. This is my new bud, Ragweed. He just blew into town and he already saved my life. Saved your life? The fat mouse cried, eyes sparkling with interest. Sir, he explained, I should like to shake your paw. He did so with great vigor and enthusiasm. It is clear, young mouse, you subscribe to the same philosophy as I do. The world of big gestures, action, commitment. He clung to Ragweed's paw, continuing to shake it. I'm delighted to meet you. No, correction. Thrilled to meet you. Welcome to the family. He went on, all the while pumping Ragweed's paw. Oh, well, thank you, Ragweed said mildly. Did you hear, Foggy? Windshield cried, turning toward his wife. This delightful young mouse saved our daughter's life. That's nice, Clutch's mother said. Be finished in 2 secs. Though she seemed to mean it, she was too intent upon her work to break off. Not so Windshield. Come over here, you two. Great to see you, Clutch. Love your hair, you know, he said, suddenly halting and rising up on his hind legs as if giving a sermon. When a stranger saves the life of another stranger, it seems to me we have reached a major turning point. It means mice are beginning to take care of mice. It's a trend, he cried with great sweeping motions of one paw. What has happened will affect other mice. They will affect yet others. The movement will spread and the whole world of mice will change. It's a revolution. Windy, Clutch said, can we get something to eat? Of course, Windshield said good-naturedly. Foggy, he called his wife. Care to join us? Just 2 secs, Foglight mumbled again without looking up. My wife, Windshield explained to Ragweed with pride, is a wonderful rider. Do you know how you can tell a professional rider from an amateur? No. An amateur rider worries about the work before starting. A professional worries about the work when finished. Windshield led the two young mice under a seat where food was piled about in random fashion. Help yourself, my dear friends. Now then, Ragweed, the complete story. No detail is too small. How did you preserve my daughter's life? I desire to hear it all. It was at the Cheese Squeeze Club, Ragweed began. The Cheese Squeeze Club, Windshield interrupted. These places where young people congregate are important. When I was young, it was different. We were isolated. Today, a whole new feeling has emerged, a sense of belonging, and these clubs mark a turning point, a trend. The world is changing. Revolution is at hand.
Windy, Clutch interrupted. Do you want to know what happened?
Most certainly.
Silversize and Graybar mopped up the club.
Cruel, hateful creatures, Windshield cried, holding down the mice of this town, repressing us, but our time will come. He held a paw and held it up high. We mice shall rise again.
Tell us about it,
Clutch said. Never give up heart, Windshield proclaimed. Remember, we're at a turning point. Notice that the whole new feeling has emerged. A whole new sense of belonging. A revolution.
Hey, Pops,
Clutch said with affection.
You've said that already.
I have? The artist was truly surprised.
At least.
Oh, well, repetition is the proof of sincerity. Saying what you mean is important. A turning point, a whole new...
Windy,
Clutch cried, cutting him off. Then Ragweed said,
Mr. Windshield, sir,
do you think anything can be done about the cats? Make them stop hurting you guys? Windshield seemed to deflate. Well, if you put it that way, no. But, young fellow, the power of art will... He stopped mid-sentence. That reminds me, he said. He rushed out from under the seat, headed for the back of the bus, and resumed painting. Ragweed looked to Clutch.
The power of art will what?
He asked her.
Beats me, Clutch said, laughing. That's the way the dude always talks. He's constantly cruising, dreaming, except, know what I'm saying? Most of his dreams come when he's awake.
Clutch, Ragweed said, really, isn't there anything to be done about those cats? Clutch sighed.
Hey, dude, I'll tell it like it is. There's us mice, okay? And then there's those cats. We don't deserve it, but they hate us. Generally speaking, we lose. Hey, totally. It's what's going down. A constant struggle. And that's the way it's going to be.
But, Ragweed stammered, that's an awful way to live.
Hey, dude, you've been here for what, 1 day, 2, right? Me, I spent my whole life looking over both shoulders, looking for cats. So chill. Know what I'm saying? Keep on living till we die. No other way it'll come. And there's nothing we can do about it. But hey, baby, you live with regrets, you wind up regretting living.
And that's the end of chapter 11.